Yeah, a letter from Femi Otedola to his very good friend Aliko Dangote, whom just launched his PMS production today for Nigeria. He said, first and foremost, I want to extend my heartfelt congratulations to President Tinubu. Then I wonder why. Why is Buhari not being mentioned? Don't forget what Buhari did at the very critical stage of this Dangote refinery when it was being developed, how Buhari gave it subsidized dollar. But here we are today, these sycophants, these billionaires who are sycophants, are not even calling the name of that president that ensured that he supported this project while at infancy stage. Okay, so let me continue. For his unwavering support and belief in actualizing this monumental achievement under his administration. This day belongs to every Nigerian who has dared to dream of a better future. Congratulations to our great nation. Today, we all stand a little taller, which I doubt, by the way. Aluko, it feels like yesterday, and then it goes on and on and on, but it has been 25 long years since we first, that is, it's talked about the time that Dangote and himself set up a consortium to buy the Port Harcourt and the Kaduna refinery, and when Yaradua came back, he actually nationalized those refineries. And he's saying that that action of Yaradua was utterly obnoxious, which I disagree with. Now, you never gave up on the dream. He continued. You carried the torch forward, igniting a spark, and today become a roaring flame. Why the Kaduna and Port Harcourt refineries have remained dormant, their promise unfulfilled despite billions of dollars spent on so-called turnaround maintenance, you have achieved what many said was impossible. You have not just built a refinery, you have liberated us from the chains of economic independence that have held this nation back for too long. Now, my argument and my disagreement is this. When Dangote refinery becomes the sole refiner of PMS, what do we think will happen as Nigerians? Do we not think that on his own whims and caprices, Dangote might just wake up tomorrow and say, okay guys, I want to start selling fuel for 2,000 naira per liter. And what's going to happen? And that is a question that I have been asking. There are some critical assets, critical products that this country at this stage must protect, just like the power, electricity. I mean, at a minimum, at the refinery stage, I believe the federal government should be the major decider. The government must do everything possible to invest. They must do everything possible to invest on the people to go out there, either to Arab, either to UAE, either to America. Send them on scholarship programs. Let them go and learn how to run refineries. Let them start working for that national asset. Today, Dangote refinery, yes, it's a win. But it is not a win for Nigerians. Because Dangote refinery, it is not a Nigerian asset. It is for Dangote and then World Bank. Don't forget, World Bank invested some certain amount of money in that project. And what that signifies is, when push comes to shove, the World Bank might begin to frustrate Dangote, which in return will make Dangote keep hiking the price of fuel. Now, we have not had such intelligent leaders who will look at things true and true. We have not had leaders who will be able to be circumspect. We must have nationalized oil refineries. Yes, we might have refineries that are privately owned or privately run, But the government must ensure they are the largest stakeholders or equal shareholders with the private entities. We cannot keep saying that the Nigerian government is incompetent, and today we are celebrating the establishment and the commencement and the inauguration of a private refinery. It's not out there to satisfy our needs as a citizen. No, Dangote is not the government. Dangote would not subsidize his own PMS. Dangote will not dance to the tune of the federal government. Because don't forget, the federal government's stake in Dangote refinery has been cut from how much? 20% or so. Now it has been reduced to about 8%. We were told they sold off 12% of their stake in that project. So the Nigerian people must understand that there's nothing, absolutely nothing to celebrate about Dangote refinery. If you celebrate it in the short term, I bet you in the long term it will begin to hurt us. Nigeria must understand that, the Nigerian government must understand that we must revamp our civil service. We must revamp, reform, and retrain our civil servant, our public servant, to have that capacity without corruption. I mean, they must put in place all those systems that will start cutting the loopholes, digitize it, wherein there will not be an avenue to steal, to loot anymore. The reason why the government will always tell you we need to privatize our seaports, we need to privatize our transportation system, we need to privatize our petroleum sector, we need to privatize our health sector, is because the federal government is not ready to reform the civil service. That's it. Before China became what it is today, one of the first key steps, even Singapore, the first few things they did was what? The civil service reform. And the civil service now happens to be the hardest sector anybody can apply for job, and it has been the most lucrative for every developed nation to work in. If you are a staff working with the government, you will be exceptionally paid. You have insurance. You have so much leverage. In China, in America, in Singapore, you can mention all of them. Even in South Africa. Today, the PMS in Nigeria, NNPC just increased the official price to 855 naira per liter from 568. That's about 320 naira. Unbelievable. 320 naira margin increase. I mean, I cannot believe this. And people, the government is out there trying to celebrate a private investment. Nigerians, we cannot continue like this. We cannot continue like this. Let me take you guys to Peter Obi's. Yeah, Peter Obi has responded. Nigerians must stop at nothing in demanding for transparency in the operations of government, especially the critical agencies like the state-owned NNPCL, whose activities appear to be shrouded in secrecy. The conflicting report on subsidy payment have left Nigerians in the dark. Indeed, we don't even know where we are. We don't know the quantity of PMS that we consume on a daily basis or even on a monthly to annual basis. Unsure of what is happening in this all-important company, it's very curious that the Nigerian National Petroleum Company, which declared a 3 trillion profit in 2023, is coming up with a bizarre claim of financial constraints in supplying fuel. The fuel scarcity crisis, characterized by endless queues and untold hardship, is a direct result of the government's ineptitude. And this is my issue with Peter Obi. Peter Obi should call names. He should call the Minister of Petroleum, which is Tinubu. It is a direct result of Tinubu's ineptitude to manage resources, to manage industries, to manage even a small business. Tinubu cannot manage a POS stand. I can guarantee you. The only thing Tinubu knows how to do is to grab and run. That's what Tinubu knows how to do. Let me continue. The $20 billion Dangote refinery and other modular refineries struggles to secure crude oil supply, and NNPCL set for outside operators for is a further proof of this administration gross incompetent yet again. Peter Obi and his diplomacy. We demand a better level of transparency in NLC operations, their financial dealings. The Petroleum Industry Act mandates an open and transparent NNPCL. We as Nigerians must not sit idle and watch as this government violate our laws. This is Peter Obi calling on the Nigerian people to go out there, protest, and demand for good governance. Good.